What is up, everybody? Today in this video, I'm going to be turning something that a lot of people say that you shouldn't. I'll be turning the pith. The pith? Or the pith? Pith? I will be turning the pith of a log, which a lot of people say that you shouldn't because it will eventually crack and break. Before we go on, do me a favor, and if you aren't already, please subscribe. Also, at the end of the video, give it a like and drop me a comment. Let me know what you like most about the video. Now, in turning this piece, I do not think that I am better than everybody on the internet, nor am I trying to prove anybody wrong. I'm just naturally curious. I'm all about the why nots, how comes, who dats, and let's sees. I think that experimentation in your hobbies is one of the main things that makes them the most fun. Learning by doing or hands-on learning is the best way for me to learn, and learning by failure is always something I am happy to do. So, with that in mind, I went into this turning full knowing that it probably wouldn't work. The wood I'm working with here is elm, and from the turnings I've done with it, I've really come to enjoy working with it. I wouldn't call elm a hardwood at 769 on the Jenga scale, but it's definitely durable, heavy, and a lot of fun to turn. To turn this, I'm using a carbide scraper. I do have a bull gouge, but honestly, I'm not good with it. The carbide scraper makes turning this so much easier, and therefore a lot more fun for me. I'll eventually learn to master a bull gouge, but I'm gonna need a lot more practice with it. So for now, the round carbide scraper it is. As somebody who is just now getting into green turning, after about a year of segmented turning, this is very fun and very satisfying. I love making big thick shavings and to just see the piece come to life out of this chunk of wood that I cut from a dirty log in my backyard. While turning this raw wood into a plate, I need to be conscious of how thin it is becoming. I don't want to turn it too thin, otherwise when it goes to dry, it will definitely crack. I want to keep it thick enough so that it has a little bit of room after it is dry for me to turn it to its final shape. Once it is turned to a shape that I like, I will apply glue to the end grains and the cracks in the piece. This will help slow the dry time and will help the piece stay a little more round, which in turn makes it easy to get to its final shape when it is dry. Now, since I turned the wood pretty thin already, it dried relatively fast. It's only been about 2 weeks, and I think that the piece is ready to be finished. I do have some concerns with the piece. You can see some of the, or I guess all of the screw holes are still visible. I think I can turn them away without making the plate super thin. I hope. And also here on the back, you can see the crack is getting pretty bad. But I did fill it up with glue, so it might hold up. I guess all we can do now is just chuck it up and do our best to make it work. Now that the piece is dry, it's a lot more brittle and a lot more prone to crack, or maybe even shatter. Especially with how thin it is, I don't want to push my luck by applying too much pressure with my tool to the piece. I guess slow and steady wins the race is perfect in this situation. I think that this point in wood turning is where it becomes more of an art form than a hobby or a simple trade. To know how the wood works and how to work the wood is something that can only come in time and with lots of practice. And mistakes. You can't forget mistakes. So, finally, after taking my time and getting the plate nice and round and flat, I can start sanding it and really start to see it come to life. I usually start my sanding at 80 grit and work my way up to 220 grit. A good little tip with sanding is to clean your piece in between each grit. This ensures that instead of pushing the dust down further into the piece between each grit and essentially just sanding more dust, that you are actually sanding your piece and getting it nice and smooth. Just what you need for a good finish. To finish the plate, I'm using a cutting board wax oil finish. I'm just going to rub it on and then buff it off. Look at that, yummy, yummy, yum, yum. This will of course ensure that it is food safe, and it also will provide a nice little penetrating layer of protection. To buff it off, I'm simply just using an old t-shirt as a buffing rag. Because, you know, I'm high class, and my pieces of work only get the best. Also, it's best to add a little bit of oomph and pressure when buffing any sort of wax finish. This will make it a little bit more shiny and ensure that the wax gets further into the grain. And now that it's all done, look at this thing all waxed up and buffed out. Looks like a nice Corvette. I mean, I admit, I could have done a little bit better in the turning and the sanding and the... Well, this didn't work. I went in fully knowing it probably wouldn't. A lot of wood turners and a lot of people on the internet say don't try and turn the pith of your wood. And this is one of the reasons, this is the main reason why, I guess. Like I said at the beginning, I don't really know what I'm doing, but the pith is prone to split. So, but this is a really good experiment. I'm really glad that I did it because now I know, and it actually got me intrigued and excited to make some plates of my own, which I will be doing here in the future. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please give the video a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And be good, be safe, and be happy. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!